Are Xi Jinping's forces quietly preparing a drone tsunami for the US, betting swarms will do what missiles can't? Could China's new drone mothership soon flood Pacific skies with up to 150 killer AI UAVs in a single wave? Will US carriers soon become easy targets as the PLA readies AI-driven drone swarms designed to hunt them down? Is Beijing planning to bleed the Pentagon's billion-dollar weapons dry using cheap, expendable drone warfare launched in massive numbers? China is building an AI-driven drone war machine known as Atlas Swarm 2, a system described as operating on an unprecedented scale for battlefield use. The PLA's new intelligentized warfare model leans on artificial intelligence, autonomous networks, and mass drone swarms to overwhelm enemy defenses. According to open reports, the PLA's goal is to train AI systems to make targeting and attack decisions at machine speed, with minimal human delay in the loop. China's Atlas Swarm 2 system can reportedly launch 48 drones in 3-second intervals from a single truck, turning one vehicle into a rapid swarm launcher. In full configuration, the system can deploy a 96-drone swarm that flies and fights as a single, AI-coordinated unit across the battle space. Each individual drone carries onboard AI capable of recognizing terrain and autonomously plotting routes, allowing it to navigate complex environments without constant control. Chinese swarm drones are also designed to share target data with each other in real time during active combat, tightening the kill chain against enemy assets. In addition, the PLA's Jiu Tian drone mothership UAV can reportedly carry between 100 and 150 smaller subdrones for large-scale saturation attacks. This 25-meter-wide unmanned aircraft effectively functions like a flying aircraft carrier for swarms, releasing multiple waves of attack drones from the air. Reports say the subdrones can self-organize into a resilient network even if satellite communications are lost, maintaining coordination under electronic attack. Beyond swarms, China is also fielding a wide variety of high-end reconnaissance drones designed for long-range surveillance and targeting missions. One of the most notable is the WZ-8 hypersonic Ghost drone, which can reportedly reach speeds of around Mach 3 at altitudes near 100,000 feet. This WZ-8 model is tailored for high-altitude reconnaissance and naval target mapping, feeding precise coordinates back to Chinese strike forces. Meanwhile, the WZ-7 Soaring Dragon is used to track US carrier groups across the Pacific region, extending China's maritime situational awareness. Data from the WZ-7 can also be used to feed targeting information to China's DF-21D and DF-26 anti-ship missiles, tightening the kill chain against large vessels. The geography of the Taiwan Strait allows China to launch many of these drones directly from mainland bases, cutting down on response time and logistics. Persistent Chinese drone surveillance over the region could make US aircraft carriers easier to track and target over long periods. By comparison, a US Arleigh Burke-class destroyer typically carries only about 90 to 96 missile cells for both offense and defense. A sufficiently large Chinese drone swarm could quickly burn through those ship-based interceptors, leaving far fewer missiles for follow-on threats. Chinese reconnaissance drones could also be tasked to locate and target fixed US bases such as Guam and Okinawa, increasing pressure on American infrastructure. Chinese state media say Beijing has unveiled a new naval anti-drone air defense system designed to protect warships from low-flying unmanned threats. According to CCTV, the system has passed a full finalization test in the Bohai Sea, marking the end of its development phase. Officials say this successful trial clears the system for mass production and deployment across China's naval fleet. Reports add that the system intercepted multiple low-flying drones during the test, demonstrating its ability to counter difficult targets. Chinese media claim the target drones executed high-difficulty stealth attack profiles meant to stress the system's sensors and interceptors. The exercise was described as simulating realistic combat conditions at sea, rather than a simple range demonstration. In the scenario, drones reportedly flew just above sea level to evade shipborne radar detection through sea-skimming tactics. Beijing says the system continued to operate effectively even in complex electromagnetic conditions, suggesting resistance to jamming and interference. CCTV broadcast footage that showed sea-skimming drones being destroyed in mid-flight during the interception sequence. However, the broadcast did not reveal the weapon's official name or detailed technical specifications, keeping much of the design secret. Chinese outlets also blurred images of the control room and the intercepting platform in the footage to conceal sensitive details. Authorities claimed the test generated solid data that will be used to further improve the system's combat performance. The reports note that the PLA Navy has been steadily expanding its ship-based air defense capabilities to meet rising drone threats. China is simultaneously upgrading short-range interceptor missiles optimized for naval warfare and close-in defense. Previously, Beijing unveiled the Liaoyuan-1 laser weapon as another tool to counter drone swarms and bolster layered ship protection. Even as President Donald Trump praised his talks with President Xi Jinping, a senior U.S. military commander warned that China is continuing to rapidly expand and modernize its armed forces. Lieutenant General Stephen Sklenka said China can no longer be described merely as a near-peer rival to the United States. Speaking at the Modern Day Marine Expo in Washington, Sklenka declared that Beijing now rivals Washington across nearly every major area of power. The Marine General also warned that any future war with China would make the Iran conflict pale by comparison. According to Sklenka, even Iran, despite being a mid-tier power, managed to inflict significant military pain on the United States and its allies. Sklenka further warned that China's shipbuilding capacity is now reportedly 230 times larger than that of the United States. The general also claimed Beijing has rapidly expanded its ballistic missile arsenal and nuclear submarine production capabilities. The warning comes just days after Trump publicly hailed his discussions with Xi Jinping as productive and successful. Lieutenant General Stephen Sklenka said, and I quote, "The Chinese leader's vision is to upend the international structure and supplant us as the global leaders. And in many ways, it's been Xi's thinking, his vision that has helped my own thinking about the demands of modern warfare, particularly when waged in the Pacific and particularly waged against a peer adversary, something that's new to all of us. We're about 2 months into combat operations with epic fury. We've got service members who have tragically been wounded and killed by Iran. They've launched hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles at our bases and our allies throughout the region. Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, reinforcing the point that the bases that we have, they're no longer administrative garrison sanctuaries. We really need to start looking at our bases as warfighting formations, just as critical of a warfighting formation as our divisions, wings, and MEUs. Their nuclear stockpile is the fastest growing in the world. They're pursuing innovative, intelligentized warfare tactics. They're using artificial intelligence, drone swarms, exploring the cognitive and innovative domains to achieve their dominance. They're building a military design to dominate the Pacific, and I believe ultimately beyond the Pacific. None of us in uniform today have ever had to operate in a world where a legitimate peer simultaneously contests us in every single domain. We are talking terrestrially and non-terrestrially, kinetically and non-kinetically. We're going to have to fight to get to that fight, and we're going to have to embrace these challenges and not operate under the auspices of how we did in the 80s and 90s. History is proven, and our current operations are confirmed, that the society that can project and sustain power and sustain their forces most effectively, ultimately, they prevail, unquote.